nervous, scared.
Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, the long-awaited. Many people, I suspect, were undecided and holding out until they got to hear from the homegrown Ohio boy, now living in Puerto Rico to avoid paying taxes, Jake Paul. And a lot of people I see in the chat are going, oh, dude, is he Amish now? No, he is presenting himself as Dagestani. This is not Jake Paul trying to look Amish. This is Jake Paul trying to look like he is from Dagestan. Okay, now let's take a look at what he had to say. I mean, I myself have been undecided up until this moment. I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see what Jake Paul's decision is. Yeah, Jake Paulomedov.
To make this video because of what it means in terms of my career, my life, people coming after me, more accusations, more turmoil, more division potentially. However, I just want to provide information to the potentially undecided voter, the things that I have seen over the past couple of years that have led me in a certain direction as to who I am supporting in this presidential election. And most of all, encouraging y'all to actually vote, encouraging y'all to actually do your own research and to base that research in the truth, not just reckless propaganda.
What's up with the camera angles, dude?
Propaganda or your favorite pop star telling you to vote.
Dog, you're people's like maybe you're a teenager's 8th favorite charlatan on YouTube. The fuck do you mean? Don't vote because Bad Bunny told you to vote for someone. Do your own research and listen to me. Your least favorite pop star.
A certain way, and you believing them because you love their song. And with that said, after watching this video, you shouldn't necessarily just listen to me either. Do your own research before you go and vote, but I highly encourage you to exercise your right to vote. Because I moved to Puerto Rico in pursuit of becoming a world champion in my boxing career, I
became a world champion at dodging taxes. That's why he moved to Puerto Rico.
Have rescinded my right to vote, but that doesn't mean I can't present my 80 million large audience with proper facts, numbers, and data to encourage them to vote in the proper direction.
Oh my God, this only got 100K views in 8 hours. Oh, is he juiceless? Is he sauceless? Is Jake Paul no longer a person with, oh my God, this video got 266,000 views, the Mike Tyson promo. 2 weeks ago. Brother, go back to, burning shit. What are you doing? Like, clearly, this stuff is not working. Yeah, go back to flexing. God damn. Bro fell off harder than you did. I know. My fall off is devastating. I only have 36,000 people. I only have 36,000 people watching. It's fucked up.
To quite literally save America. And I'll start off with something that bothered me recently was Tony Hinchcliffe, a comedian who made a bad joke. Obviously, he's doing his job, trying to be funny, but him talking smack about Puerto Rico was not funny. And I want to shine a light on the fact that these aren't Donald Trump's views. It was a comedian who made a bad joke.
I have no idea who he is. Never saw him. Never heard of him.
Oh, dude, this facts-based analysis has started off strong. That's awesome. All right. Mr. Facts-based analysis, dude. He's coming in. He's done his own research.
And don't want to hear of him.
Tony, while I love most of your work, Puerto Rico is the most beautiful place on earth, and the people here are absolutely incredible. Wars, health, guns, jobs, economy, inflation, border control, freedom of speech. The list goes on and on and on with the number of problems that America currently faces. And I don't come to you to make this video to create more division. I believe love is the key to the universe and that we should all love each other more and more and more. And it saddens me that in the current political state of the world in America, people can't have opinions without outrageous backlash. And I truly believe we can all agree on that things just don't feel right. America doesn't feel good. It shows that
Dude, these multi-camera jump cuts are gonna make me throw up, dude. It's not helped by the fact that I have to look at his face, which is, I don't know what happened to this motherfucker. Did he do like a shit ton of steroids? Like, what's going on? Why does he look like this?
we are more divided than ever, and I can't sit back and watch this blasphemy unfold in front of me any longer. What is the problem? Democrats have been in power for 12 of the last 16 years. So if we aren't happy with the current political state, economic state, environmental state, then who is to blame? Tim Walz, the vice presidential candidate, has even said this himself.
We can't afford 4 more years of this.
We can't have 4 more years of this. Even
Wow. He's great facts-based analysis. I wonder what Tim Walz was talking about. Oh, dude, this is like, I'm going to go back to this. After Jake Paul's endorsement for Donald Trump. He's literally too stupid to make a good convincing argument for Trump.
Even Tim says there needs to be change, and he's right. We need to change from Kamala Harris to the Republican candidate, Donald Trump. Tim, I remind you that your running mate, Kamala Harris, is vice president, currently in the office, and hasn't done anything while she's in office. Basically no accomplishments. Let's start with a chart of inflation during the Biden-Harris term. Their overall inflation is 20.2% compared to the Trump-Pence administration with an overall inflation of 6.7%. Statistically 14% better while Trump was running the economy. As you can see in every category, energy, gasoline, rent, and food, the numbers are exponentially lower and the lowest of the past 30 years of presidents. Again, regardless of your emotion, I'm just presenting you with facts. Do I think Donald Trump is a perfect human being? No, I don't think anybody on this planet is a perfect human being.
Why are you dignifying this trash with a react? Because he's making true facts. Okay? He's right. And his 12-year-old fans that actually demand that he blow up more monster trucks or whatever are going to learn so much about how Biden did the brand inflation. Also, the conversation about vice presidents is really funny because Trump literally almost killed his vice president. Okay? So, in terms of like vice presidential impact, I feel like, you know, they're not exactly impactful. The one thing that the vice president does have the right to do is certify the fucking votes or choose not to certify the fucking votes. And fake friend Mike Pence couldn't even do that for my goat, Donald Trump. Kind of fucked up. If you ask me, that's all I'm saying.
Myself included. Don't judge people off of a character that the media has portrayed them to be. Because Democrats control 90% of the US media, so they
What the fuck? Democrats control 90% of the U.S. media. 90%. He's right, dude. That's right. Democrat run news media. That's why I had to do it. I had to do it to him. I like that his facts-based analysis is that there's a lot of mentions of racism, racist, sexism, misogyny, homophobia, transphobia, Islamophobia, and anti-Semitism. Like, this implies that Democrats run the media. They own 90% of the media because mentions of these sorts of things have gone up. I love this. More like the media controls 90% of politicians because they're owned by giant corporations that bribes politicians. What is this fucking argument, dude? You don't understand. Anti-racism is woke nonsense. That's the funniest part about this is that, like, these guys, again, right-wingers in general, especially prominent right-wingers online, including now Jake Paul, will often talk about how, like, woke is a bad thing. Like, being woke is a bad thing. But once again, when polled, Americans are like, yeah, it just means you're in favor of social justice. And yeah, I agree with it. By overwhelming majorities, as a matter of fact. There's never been a single fucking poll that has showed that, like, being woke is a bad thing. Okay? So when he puts this up as, like, homophobia mentions have gone up, like, what are you, fucking against the coverage of are you homophobic? Why are you voluntarily ascribing these values, okay, to the Democratic Party and then just sitting there and making it seem like that's a bad thing? Are you that fucking stupid? Did you get CTE? What's going on? I think Logan Paul has to do the right thing and come out and endorse Kamala Harris.
They will paint a picture to y'all, and that picture is what they want you to see. And to be frank, I'm not concerned with Donald Trump's character flaws or what he's done in the past. What I'm concerned with is how good of a president is he? Because that is his job, and that is what's going to affect the people of this nation. Oh, Bill Belichick, so hard to work with. He's a dick to all of his players, but yet he's the most winningest coach in all of the NFL. We're not here to call names and get involved in emotional battles. Let's look at who was a better president during their terms. Statistically, the next major point that always comes up is abortion. Donald Trump abortion. Donald Trump isn't protecting women's rights. That's what the media has painted to you, and it's absolutely not true.
Okay, I can't wait. I can't wait for this one. This one's going to be good. Oh, he's really going to cook. The 90% of the media is owned by the Democrats with a irrelevant statistic that I'm not entirely certain as to why Jake Paul would even show as a bad thing. Wasn't enough for me. That I'm still holding out. I'm still holding out because this is my favorite political thinker, perhaps my favorite thinker in general. And I'm assuming that he's going to come out with a banger on this one and explain to us everything that we've known about this process is wrong. It's not Donald Trump's own Supreme Court appointees that ended up overturning Roe v. Wade, which undermined women's bodily autonomy in every red state, as a matter of fact. So let's see. Let's see what he says here.
True. Donald Trump was the president before for 4 years. What rights as a woman were taken away from you? The
Yes, dude. Why did Trump not hire him? Trump's argument for the abortion thing is really bad because there is no real good argument you can make, right? There is no real good argument you can make about, like, Roe v. Wade being overturned. Okay. So Trump does this thing where he's like, everybody wanted to overturn it so that we could bring it back to the states. We could bring it back to the states. That's what all the legal scholars wanted. Except, make no mistake, even my Supreme Court appointees openly stated that they would not overturn Roe v. Wade. They lied to the American public because of how popular it was to protect it. Even though they all wanted it, everyone secretly wanted it. That's why everyone's so happy and certainly voting against me. But that aside, super precedent, words like super precedent, lame, who gives a shit, okay? All of that aside, what matters is what Jake Paul has to say. And Jake Paul is right. Women's right to choose was not undermined when Trump was president. It's just that Trump appointed Supreme Court justices that did end up doing that. But I guess this is one of those instances where, like, I don't know if Jake Paul is too stupid, so he's like earnestly stating this, like a Aiden Ross style situation. Y'all remember when Aiden Ross was having a convo with Your Rage and Kai about abortion? Let me see if I can find it real quick. Oh, here it is.
Give me 3 reasons why Trump is better than Biden. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just want to know if you're actually talking and you're not just a bot repeating
First
shit.
of all, what happened with abortion is ridiculous. You should not be able to tell a woman what to do with her body. That's first of all. That's a woman's body.
You think?
Yeah, why are we doing this right now? We're on screen.
You're so brain dead. You're so brain dead.
All right, Josh, do you have a sister?
Yeah, I have a sister.
Wait, the TikTok is the Hasanabi pipeline, by the way. I just realized.
Bro.
Okay.
Wait, you think Biden was the one that wanted abortion to be... That's what you think? That's how that works?
He's a president. He can, you know what I'm saying? He can not ban it. What do you mean?
All right, bro. Tell me...
All right, bro. Young Thug got 15 years probation. Free him. Free him from the treacherous nature of probation, too. Free Thug. But it's a good result overall. Anyway, truly humble under God, baby. So yeah, it could be, going back to Jake Paul. This could be a moment where Jake Paul is simply saying this because he's too stupid to recognize what he's saying, or maybe he's disingenuously framing this as an argument.
The answer is none. Donald Trump wants to put the power into the hands of each state to determine whether abortions will be legal there or not. So if you live in a Democratic...
This is so funny because, once again, wrong. Kentucky actually voted in favor of protecting a woman's right to choose. And then the Kentucky Attorney General turned around and was like, I don't care about democracy. Shut the fuck up. So, wrong. If also the overwhelming majority opinion democracy was important for each individual state, the reality of the matter is that there has never been a moment where abortion wasn't popular. Abortion protections weren't popular. Don't watch the whole 18 minutes. If you voluntarily watch 18 full minutes of Jake Paul talking about the election, you should be lobotomized. No, I'm going to watch it. And you can't stop me. Like, we have to watch it. Guys, this is the most important election of our lifetimes. And Jake Paul is the most important person to speak on this matter.
State like California, yes, the Democrats will vote to allow abortion in California, putting the power in the hands of the people. So while many women are focused on this single issue vote,
I have made 2 comments about the love test. Yes, you have. I heard from a video you were like 46 or something. Is that true? Please just stop spamming about the love test or whatever
voting,
the fuck.
I encourage you not to be a single issue voter.
He was already president, and how many rights did you lose? 0. He's trying to protect women's rights. What do you think it is when we have men in women's sports? We have men in our personal spaces. What do you think it is when dangerous men come over the border? That's what protecting women and children is. Oh, he already said he's not going to do a nationwide abortion ban. He's not going to do it.
Facts. And if you really cared about women and their opportunity.
Facts. Dude, I love this is more important than the 13 keys. Yeah, Alan Lichtman would never be able to predict a Jake Paul endorsement and its impact.
In their lives, I think it would be better to have a president that doesn't want biological men competing in women's sports. How many opportunities?
Yeah, this is why I'm voting. This is why I'm voting, dude. Yo, fuck the economy, dude. This is what's important. We got to make sure that the American president has a say in the Olympics. Okay?
Over the last couple of years have been stripped from women who spend their whole entire lives in a sport hoping for opportunities for it to be taken away by a biological male. And not to mention biological men in women's restrooms. What world have we gotten to where that seems acceptable and that...
Dude, there's something really funny about him just like trying to do transphobic commentary as like the camera pans from one camera angle to the next and he's like, dude, what? What is the world that we've gotten to? This is what the fuck? I think he's just a single issue voter and doesn't want biological women fighting against him because he's worried he will lose. What? I just like, no, he's just a fucking idiot. And he's repeating talking points without really putting much effort or thought into it. Okay? That's it.
Is a political discussion in any way, shape, or form. And as a future father, you will find me dead before I send my daughter to a school where men can go into her bathroom and where men can compete against her in sports. It's bullshit. That is taking away a woman's rights. And I don't hate trans people. It's not an attack against them.
But I also consider you to be biological men, all of you, including trans men. Trans men, also biological men. Trans women, also biological men. Everyone is a man, actually, in my worldview. I have not really considered any of the things that I'm saying. So, you know, I like that gender affirming care has done wonders for this man, making his face as puffy as possible. And yet here he is being like, well, I will deny everyone else the opportunity. It's cool. Denies their existence, but also says, I don't hate you. Yeah, who is this argument supposed to convince? Why are you even saying, I don't hate you? This is the thing I don't understand. Like, you just went on a transphobic rant for no reason, like out of nowhere. You don't even have to bring this up at all, but you're using it as a way to be like, Trump actually cares about women, and that's why he's going to fucking kill trans women or some shit. And then you're like, and also, I don't really hate trans women, but you guys are weird, and I think that you should not exist. Like, why even deny it at that point? I do not understand this. Like, who is convinced by this? Like, oh, well, he said he doesn't hate trans people.
I believe adults should dress and act however they want.
Oh, God, he's sweating so much. What the fuck?
Shouldn't encroach your rights into other areas of delusion and infringe on other humans' basic rights.
He's like, trans people, You can exist if you want, but I will call you delusional. And also, you are not allowed to piss or shit. Okay? You are not allowed to play sports, and you are definitely not allowed to piss or shit or exist in public, really. Actually, I've decided I want doctors to reverse your hormone therapy, as a matter of fact, just now. But I don't hate you. No hate. No hate, but I think you're weird and scary and delusional, and also I will do everything in my power to stop you from existing. But no hate though.
And Caitlyn Jenner herself is a perfect example of this, and someone who carries herself perfectly in a complex and tough situation and conversation across the world. And as a man, you should be offended.
What? You got Nick Twiz. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Don Jr.'s holding a camera. Don Jr.'s behind the camera holding a gun at Jay. He's not doing this on his own free will. Hassan, please understand this is under duress. No man sweats like that normally. I'm gonna agree with you. Straight up. I agree with you. There has got to be some reason why he's sweating profusely, okay? There's got to be a reason for it. There can be no... it can't be reasonless. And I suspect that he is under duress.
Offended by the fact that Kamala Harris goes on a podcast saying that there is no law that governs a man's body.
Can we try to think of any law that gives the government the power to make a decision?
I know what you're going to ask.
About a man's body. Let's
No.
just pause.
No.
Is there any law?
No. No.
Hey, Kamala, what about the draft, which requires...
My goat! My goat! Let's go! Woo! Woo! Oh my God. Hey, Kamala! What about the draft? Woo! Woo! Make women draft. Oh. Jesus Christ.
men to fight for their country, die, go to war, or face imprisonment and $250,000.
I love this argument. What a fucking awesome argument. He's like owning Kamala Harris in the marketplace of ideas with this one. He really did it. He really did the damn thing, dude. No laws that govern men? Excuse me. What about when a man has to get a owning Kamala Harris in the marketplace of ideas with this one? He really did it. He really did the damn thing, dude. No laws that govern men? Excuse me. What about when a man has to get a driver's license to drive their car fucking owned? That's amazing. True facts. You're right. You must also object the draft. No, yeah, I don't give a fuck, dude. Yeah, fuck the draft. It's funny because I'm female to male and had to sign up for the draft. Yeah. Well, remember, in the minds of transphobes, many of them don't really realize that there are trans men out there. So if you were to describe to Jake Paul that trans men also exist, I think you would literally cause him to have an aneurysm. He would perish on the spot. Like his brain is basically the size of a walnut due to CTE and steroid usage at this point, that it would explode. Are political commentators voices for the people? Okay, the two-button thing, put it down. You're milking this. How appropriate. What?
In fines. What about that law, Kamala? As a man, that should frustrate you that she's neglecting the truth about what.
What's the counter argument to the draft thing? It's utterly irrelevant. It's not like it's not a real thing in general. Okay. Last time it was a fucking real thing was during the Vietnam War. The American military has a poverty draft. It is voluntary, the way that it currently works. And also, I am not in favor of the draft anyway. The poverty draft is a myth. No, it's not. Stop. I hate that argument. I know what counter argument you're going to make. Okay. No. Upward social mobility is only afforded to people if they go through the military and get their college education and healthcare paid for. That is still the poverty draft. Okay. Just pointing to a bunch of military family kids being also a part of the military and a part of the officers program does not change that dynamic. Okay? I hate that. I know the arguments against it. I'm very familiar with it. It does not matter. It is not a myth. Did women force the draft up on men, or what am I missing? No, you don't understand. Jake Paul is woke. He wants women to also be drafted, or he wants to abolish the draft. It's got to be one or the other. Otherwise, why the fuck would he be pointing to this as an argument? You know? Like, what is the point of this? What is the point of being like this thing that is never really fucking used and has existed long before, and the last time it was used was like fucking during the Vietnam War, which ironically enough, Donald Trump, the person he's advocating for, skipped. One of the best things he did, dodge the draft, is something that Kamala Harris is like brought upon the American population. Or even then, it's like comparing the draft. If that is what you're going to, if your argument is like, oh, well, the draft exists, how dare you say that we don't control men's lives? That's kind of a fucking stupid argument to make in terms of like how abortion is designed specifically to harm women's bodily autonomy. Like, you are denying someone a medical procedure that they can get. The poverty draft has never been a real phenomenon. In the last 15 years, basically non-existent.
What men do for this country, and women do so much for this country. But let's not make this a battle of sexes. Everyone is equally important in this discussion. And sorry, Thor. Yeah, I know. It's madness. It's a crazy world. It's gonna be okay. Yeah, that's Thor. He's voting for Donald Trump. I would also argue that Donald Trump is protecting women by not letting 15 million illegal immigrants through the borders. 662,560.
Dude, that's like, this is the type of shit that's like really insidious, I think. Like the way that the average like guy who believes Donald Trump is great just so quickly fucking hits these unimaginably racist lines, unimaginably racist lies in general, is very, very frustrating. Okay? As of July 21st, 2024, there were 662,566 non-citizens with criminal histories on ICE's national docket, which includes those detained by ICE and on the agency's non-detained docket. Of those, 435,000 are convicted criminals and 226,000 have pending criminal charges.
66 have criminal histories, 13,000 convicted of
What is the counter to this? Yeah, it's across multiple fucking decades, dude. What are you talking about? It's across 20 fucking years. Some of those people legally came here and then did crimes. Some of those people legally came here. Their immigration status was either revoked or their visa expired and they overstayed and then did crimes. And the most consequential aspect of this is that you see big number. Okay, you see big number and you go, oh, that's crazy, big number, that's wild. It is at a significantly lower rate than a significantly lower rate than natural-born U.S. citizens. Okay,
homicide and so on. Having those unidentified,
like, do you understand?
the borders, 662,000.
Do you get it? Do you understand? Yeah, the homicide number has gone up to 29 as of fiscal year 2024. It comes to a close, by the way. I keep repeating this stat, but 29 homicides are manslaughter. 29. Donald Trump says 100,000 Americans are being killed by migrants every fucking day. So it's not related to those 16 million because that's how he made it sound, I think. It's crazier that people believe this shit. Yeah, I mean, it's very nefarious the way that they... Yeah, by the way, it's homicide and manslaughter as in it could literally be one murder and 28 fucking fatal car accidents. Yes. What is the biggest number on that sheet? Circular reasoning much? 80% is immigration crimes. Oh, you're saying, yeah. In terms of like all of the processing and all of the arrests, the biggest crime is that they are just undocumented immigrants. Yes, that chatter is correct. That's why the number is so fucking high. What is the citizen rate of murders? I don't know, but it's like, but I mean, how many murders happen every year? Like 10,000, I think. Like 10,000 or maybe more. Especially if you add homicide. America's like homicide, sorry, especially when you add manslaughter. I think homicide manslaughter numbers across the board. Number of deaths, 24,849 deaths per 100,000. not one per 100,000. You mean total number? Yeah. If homicide manslaughter totality is 24,000 every year, and that's really fucking high, guys. That's crazy. Okay. You need to put the hat back on, bro. Okay, stop. It's incredibly high. Immigrants constitute a tiny margin of that. Okay, like a minuscule, statistically irrelevant number. If there are 24 to 29,000 fucking, if there are 24,000, let's say 29,000, it makes up 1/1000th of the number of fucking homicides and manslaughters in this country. It's just like, it's ridiculous.
1,566 have criminal histories, 13,000 convicted of homicide, and so on. Having those unidentified people roaming the streets, I believe, arguably, is a bigger potential threat to the women of America. Even the Border Patrol Council, the people who are in charge of the border, endorsed Donald Trump. Quote, "If we allow Border Czar Harris to win this election, this great country is going to hell."
The untold millions of people, unvetted, who she has allowed into this country.
Yeah, Jake Paul is right. We should deport all threats to women, starting with